Dear students, in the previous lectures on extracellular matrix and tissue biochemistry, we have covered structure, biosynthesis, degradation, and disorders associated with collagen. Today we are going to see in detail another important protein of extracellular matrix, and that is elastin. So today we are going to emphasize on elastin, and we are going to see its structure, biosynthesis, and degradation. And then we will see major differences between collagen and elastin. And then we would focus on the significance of alpha-1 antitrypsin in the degradation of elastin protein, and how does emphysema result from the deficiency of alpha-1 antitrypsin. Like collagen, elastin is also a connective tissue protein, and it has rubber-like properties. Elastic fibers are mainly composed of elastin protein and also glycoprotein microfibrils. Elastin protein is found in the lungs, in the walls of the large arteries, and also in the elastic ligaments. Elastin has the ability to be stretched to several times its normal length, but it can be further recoiled to its original shape whenever the stretching force undergoes relaxation. Structure and biosynthesis of elastin. Elastin is a type of insoluble polymer. It is synthesized from a precursor called tropoelastin, like the precursor of collagen is tropocollagen. What is tropoelastin? Tropoelastin is a straight chain or linear polypeptide comprises of around 700 amino acids, and these amino acids are primarily small and non-polar. For example, glycine, alanine, and valine. Elastin is also rich with proline and lysine amino acids, and it contains only a little content of hydroxyproline and hydroxylysine. Tropoelastin, once synthesized inside the cells, is secreted into the extracellular matrix. There it comes in contact with the protein called as fibrillin. The main function of fibrillin protein is to act as a scaffold or supportive protein, because it gives support to the tropoelastin. So tropoelastin, when comes in the extracellular matrix, it binds to a scaffold protein which is called as fibrillin protein. Now, in the structure of the tropoelastin, some of its lysyl side chains are oxidatively deaminated to form alysine residues with the help of enzyme lysyl oxidase. Now, the most important link which is found in the elastin protein is desmosine link. Now, how this desmosine link is formed? In order to make desmosine cross-link, what happens? That three chains of elastin are selected and their lysine residues are converted into L-lysine residue through the process of oxidative deamination using lysyl oxidase enzyme. So this is the L-lysine residue of this chain. This is the L-lysine residue of this chain, and this is the L-lysine residue of this chain. So there are three chains which are presented with their L-lysine residues, and there is one chain of elastin which is having unaltered lysine residues, which means that lysine remains same here. It is not converted into L-lysine. So three chains with the L-lysine residues and one chain with the unaltered lysine. These are joined together to form a link which is called as desmosine cross-link. Now, due to the presence of desmosine link in elastin, elastin becomes interconnected and basically it achieves its rubber-like properties. So the rubber-like properties in the elastin is due to its desmosine link, and as a result of which elastin can stretch and bend. Here you can see the relaxed position of elastin, and this is the stretched position of elastin. Defects, abnormalities, or mutations in the fibrillin 1 protein may result into Marfan syndrome. So Marfan syndrome is a kind of connective tissue disorder which shows structural impairment in three important parts of the body. One is skeleton, other is eye, and the third one is cardiovascular system. Fibrillin protein, when becomes mutated or abnormal, it is incorporated into microfibrils along with the normal fibrillin, and as a result of which it inhibits the production of functional microfibrils. Blue sclera is the common feature of osteogenesis imperfecta, Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, and Marfan syndrome, and this is due to thinning of the tissue which can allow the underlying pigment to show through. For the degradation of elastin, elastase enzyme is used. It is a type of a proteolytic enzyme which can convert elastin first into smaller fragments, and these smaller fragments then can be convertible into individual amino acids with the help of proteinase enzyme. Now we are going to see major differences between collagen and elastin protein. Collagen belongs to many different genetic types, while elastin is having only one genetic type. Collagen appears in the form of triple helix, while in elastin there is no triple helix. There is a random coil conformation in the elastin which is able to stretch and bend. Then in collagen there is a special repeating sequence of GLI, X and Y, while such repeating sequence is not found in elastin. In case of collagen, there is hydroxylysine residues, while you cannot find hydroxylysine residues in elastin. Collagen is mostly carbohydrate containing, while no carbohydrate residue is found in elastin. In collagen, there are special aldol crosslinks are formed, while in case of elastin, there are desmosine crosslinks. In the collagen, during biosynthesis, there is the formation of extension peptides at N-terminus and C-terminus, while in elastin biosynthesis, there is no presence of extension peptides. Collagen fibers are tough in nature and they have high tensile strength, while elastin protein is having rubber-like properties, and this is flexible protein. Now we are going to see significance or role of alpha-1 antitrypsin protein in the degradation of elastin. Alpha-1 antitrypsin is a protein which is also abbreviated as alpha-1 or A1 and AT. It is also currently termed as alpha-1 antiproteinase. This is found in blood and some other body fluids. This is also called as acute phase protein or APP since it is synthesized or prepared in the inflammatory process. It has the ability to inhibit multiple proteolytic enzymes which are also called as proteases or proteinases. The most important function of alpha-1 antitrypsin is to inhibit neutrophil elastase. Now, what is neutrophil elastase? This is the kind of a strong and a powerful protease which is released into the extracellular space, and it has the ability to degrade elastin, which is present in the walls of alveoli, as well as some other structural proteins in different other tissues. Whenever there is entry of airborne pathogens in the body, immune response is triggered, and as a result of which elastase is produced from the neutrophils. This elastase enzyme can attack airborne pathogens and can kill those pathogens. And when this elastase is acted upon by antitrypsin, this antitrypsin inhibits the elastase so that this elastase cannot damage the elastin protein in the alveoli of lungs. But in case if there is deficiency of alpha-1 antitrypsin, then this elastase cannot be inhibited. And this elastase is available to attack or damage the elastin protein in the walls of the alveolar tissue, and as a result of which it can result into different lung disorders. Emphysema is a chronic obstructive pulmonary or lung disease which results from the deficiency of alpha-1 antitrypsin. It is also called as pulmonary emphysema. This is due to inherited or genetic defects in alpha-1 antitrypsin protein. Number of different mutations have been documented in the gene for alpha-1 antitrypsin. The most important mutation that has been seen in causing defective alpha-1 antitrypsin is single purine base mutation, in which GAG, which is a codon, is converted into AAG, and as a result of which there is replacement or substitution of lysine residue for glutamic acid at position number 342 of alpha-1 antitrypsin protein. Now this mutation is considered as the most widespread clinical mutation. Mutated or abnormal alpha-1 antitrypsin protein can be polymerized in the endoplasmic reticulum of liver cells, and as a result of which there is delayed or decreased secretion of alpha-1 antitrypsin from the liver. Accumulated polymers of mutated alpha-1 antitrypsin protein may also result into cirrhosis. This is also called as scarring of the liver. It has been seen that there is a special or specific alpha-1 antitrypsin methionine amino acid residue which is required for the binding of alpha-1 antitrypsin to the protease, for example elastase. But in case of smoking, there is the oxidation of this alpha-1 antitrypsin methionine residue. When it is oxidized, it becomes inactivated. And when it becomes inactivated, then alpha-1 antitrypsin cannot neutralize the elastase. So therefore, in smokers, especially those smokers with alpha-1 antitrypsin deficiency, there is high rate of lung destruction because elastase cannot be neutralized by alpha-1 antitrypsin. As a result of which, smokers may have different types of lung disorders as compared to non-smokers. What is the treatment or therapy for the alpha-1 antitrypsin deficiency? This is simply the weekly administration of alpha-1 antitrypsin intravenously.